Good day, students. Welcome to mathgotserved.com. In this clip, we're going to be going over section 2.6 of our Algebra 1 virtual text, focusing on how to solve combined work problems. Before we get started, let's take a look at the formula that's going to be guiding our problem solving process for today. Okay? Alright, so the formula we're using is as follows. So let's say we have two people doing the same job at different times. Okay, so we're going to call them person 1 and person 2. So let's say person 1 completes a job in how long? In T1, and the unit of time could vary. Okay, it could be T1 minutes, hours, days, whatever. And then person 2 completes the same job in T2. Okay, so T represents time, and the subscript or index that we are attaching to each time variable represents the position, the person's position. So 1 is for person 1 and 2 is for person 2. Okay, and then we have the combined time. So combined, or working together, combined, they complete the same job, complete the job, and we're going to call it T sub C. C represents combined and T represents time. Okay, so if we have a situation like this, then the following equation holds. Okay, then we have the equation 1 over T1 plus 1 over T2 equals 1 over T combined. So this equation is just telling us that if we add the reciprocal of the times of the two workers, it will give us the reciprocal of their combined time. Okay, so that's the equation that we're going to be using for the problems today. Now you might wonder, where does this equation come from? This equation basically comes from the rate equals quantity over time equation. Alright, so the quantity of jobs here is just one job, and then the time component is for two people, so it's either T1 or T2. And then working together, you just simply add their rates. So you have rate 1 plus rate 2 to get their combined rate. Alright, so this equation is actually the sum of the rates of person 1 and person 2 and their combined rates. That's what this equation is. Alright, let's take a look at question number 1. It reads, working alone, Kristen can pick 40 bushels of apple in 13 hours. Narachai can pick the same amount in 14 hours. Find how long it will take them if they work together. Alright, so let's go ahead and solve this problem. So we know what our formula is, right? So we need T1, T2, and T combined. So let's call Kristen 1 and call, who's the second person, Rachai 2. Okay, so Kristen's time, so let Kristen's time be, let's call it T1. Okay, because Kristen is 1. T1 is equal to what? 13 hours. And then Narachai's time, be T2, which is 14 hours. Okay, and then the combined time is T sub combined, which is what we're looking for. Alright, so that is the unknown in this situation. Now, let us take a look at the formula again. So the formula is color coded. The formula is 1 over T1 plus 1 over T2 equals 1 over t combined. Alright, so we're going to plug it in and solve. So we have 1 over the time for Kristen, which is 13, plus 1 over the time for Narachai, which is 14, equals the combined time, 1 over t sub c. Now in this presentation, you're free to use a calculator, so let's go ahead and do it. So we have 1 divided by 13 plus 1 divided by 14. Enter. So we have 0.14835. So 0.14835 is equal to 1 over the combined time. Now, how do we get the combined time by itself? There are two ways you can do this. You can cross multiply or divide, or the faster way is you can reciprocate both sides. I'm going to use the reciprocation approach because it's pretty neat. So what I'll do is I'll express both numbers as fractions. So on the left side, I want to express this as a fraction also. Now what I'm going to do to solve this equation is I'm going to flip both sides of the equation. The mathematical terminology for flipping is reciprocation. So we're going to reciprocate both sides, and the notation for reciprocation or flipping is raising that term being reciprocated to the negative 1 power. Okay? Alright, so let's go ahead and reciprocate. On the left side, upon reciprocation, we are going to have 1 over 0.14835, and then on the right side we have the combined time t sub c divided by 1. Alrighty? Okay, now what does that give us? Well, it gives us the combined time divided by 1 as just simply the combined time t sub c. And then using our calculators, we're just going to find the reciprocal of this answer we got. So it's 1 divided by, you can press second function answer or just enter it. Let me just enter it. 0.1483516. That's good enough. Alright, so 6.74 to 2 decimal places. So we're going to have 6.7. What was it again? 74. Yeah, 6.74. Alright, so what does this answer mean? Let's write down what the meaning is. The meaning of this answer is working together. It will take them how long? Take them 6.74 hours to do the job. Alright, so that's the answer to question number 1. Alright, let's try another example. Number 2 says Julia can harvest a field in 8 hours. Jasmine can harvest the same field in 14 hours. If they work together, how long will it take them? Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at what we know and what we need. Alright, so the solution is as follows. So let's declare our variables. So let's call Julia 1, okay, and Jasmine 2. So let Julia's time be T1, which is equal to 8 hours. And then let Jasmine's time be T2, which is equal to 14 hours. Okay? And their combined time, let's call that T sub C, which we do not know. Okay? So let's go ahead and write down the formula, and then we're going to plug in our knowns and unknowns and solve algebraically. Alright, the formula is 1 over T1 plus 1 over T2 equals 1 over T combined. So let's substitute. If we substitute, we are going to have 1 over T1, which is 1 over 8, plus 1 over T2, which is 1 over 14. equals 1 over the combined time. Okay, so let's go ahead and figure out the sum of these two fractions. 1 divided by 8 plus 1 divided by 14. That gives us 0.19642. Alright, so it's 0.19642 equals 1 over the combined time. Now, do you remember how to solve this equation? Remember, there are two ways. You can cross multiply and divide, or you can reciprocate. Okay, so in the previous example, I reciprocated. In this example, I'm going to use the second method, which is cross multiplication. Alright, so to cross multiply, you just express the fraction to the number to the left as a fraction, and then denominator to the right goes to the numerator on the left, and denominator on the left goes to the numerator on the right. So when you cross multiply, you are going to have 0.19642 times the combined time equals 1. Okay? And then since the relationship between the combined time and this constant is multiplicative, to undo that, what we're going to do is divide both sides by that number. So divided by 0.19642 divided by 0.19642. And on the left side, these numbers are identical, so they divide out. Okay, so we end up with the reciprocal of the original number that we started with. Okay, so you see why I said that reciprocation is much faster, because we're doing the same thing, but it's taking longer with cross multiplication. Anyway, whichever method that you like, you can use. Combined time, let's go ahead and plug that into our calculators, is 1 divided by, you can just put answer if you're using a TI-84, but for the calculators, you got to type them in. So let's do that. 0.19642. Okay, so it's going to take 5.09 hours to 2 decimal places, so 5.09. Now, what does this answer mean? The meaning of this answer is as follows. It will take both of them, 5.09 hours to complete the job. Working together. Okay, so that's the answer to question number 2. Alright, so how well did you master the contents of this presentation? To demonstrate mastery, we'd like you to go ahead and try out these 3 problems. So we'd like you to try these. Now, what you're going to do is pause the video and work on these problems. When you're done, click on the playback button, and then we are going to display the answers for you momentarily. Alright, so hopefully you had the chance to work on these problems. Let's go ahead and take a look at what the answers are. For question number 1, working together, it's going to take them 4.74 hours. For question 2, working together is going to take Ming and Ted 4.95 minutes. For question 3, working together is going to take both of them 4.24 hours. Thanks so much for taking the time to watch this presentation. We really appreciate it. If you found the contents of this tutorial helpful in your studies of combined work problems, do give us a thumbs up. Your positive feedback is very valuable to us. If you have any questions or comments about the contents of this presentation, just post it in the comment section below this video and we'll be more than glad to respond. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for updates to more of the virtual text series. Do visit our website, mathgotserved.com, for access to more videos, worksheets, games, and tools to help you master algebra. Thanks again for watching and have a wonderful day. Goodbye.